welcome into JUCO Cover 3 here on the NJCAA Network. Another crazy week of football for us to break down. I'm Zach McKinstry, that's Alin Edward, and nowhere else to start but that unbelievable matchup on Saturday, Iowa Western and Hutchinson. Alin, take it away. That game was crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said last week, Iowa and Western and Hutch, I think one of the best teams right now in the NJCAA, Kansas Jayhawk Conference. I told you it's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a high scoring game. Ended up combining 60 points together, in total. Like I said, the defense came through for for Hutch, you know what I'm saying? And Hutch ended up winning, 38-7, 37. I believe they will see each other again.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised at all seeing those two teams play again down the line. It was a rematch of the 2022 championship game. Obviously, Hutch goes on the road, takes down Iowa Western on Saturday, and the 2-point conversion was the difference. Iowa Western rallied all the way back. Hunter Deckers was phenomenal, 420 yards. I think he finished with 5 passing touchdowns, and then that 2-point conversion at the end just sailed it high on that quick hitch and couldn't convert, so Hutch ends up the winners. What'd you like about Decker's performance?
Decker, man, like I said, he was a D1 bounce back, so I expected a lot from him. And certain guys they'll just be a D1 bounce back and they'll play average, but to him, I think he's starting to set a statement now. He can show you what he can do at the quarterback position. Obviously, he's an air raid top quarterback, and it surprised me because he's also a lefty. Reminds me a lot of Frank Harris from UTSA. He can whip the ball, you know what I'm saying, and he could hit every throw on the field. And for him to come up short, I believe it's just going to make him come back stronger because when they finally see each other again, I believe he's going to come out with a W for sure.
Yeah, right now there's pretty set that those are the two top teams in junior college football right now, so it was awesome to get to see them go head-to-head on Saturday. Then on the other side, the winners in Hutchinson, Samari Collier also looked really good, a guy that we've seen last year. We were big on him last year, and he's coming out for his second season at Hutchinson and making a statement.
Oh yeah, for sure. Smart Collier, a good friend of mine's too. Obviously he's from Texas, Dallas, and I used to hear about him a lot. You know what I'm saying? And they used to play his games on TV, so I kind of knew who he kind of was. And obviously he's also a dual threat quarterback and who can also throw the ball. Samari, he actually committed to Louisiana, Lafayette, and ended up coming back. I know how things go sometimes when you transfer and come back, but yeah, he come back also to try to make a statement and. I expect him to have a big year too. I'm playing his second year in JUCO, so he kind of knows how everything goes in the Jayhawk conference. So he for sure going to be taking off also.
You'll know better than I, but as a number 2 team, Hutchinson obviously came up short last year, were the number 1 for most of the regular season and lost in that first round of the semifinals. To get that big game out of the way early against the number 1 Iowa Western, get a win on the road, how much of a sigh of relief is that for that team? Or is it something where they're happy with it, they're just looking forward to the next game?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure they're happy with it. Of course, it's a good thing being one of the best 2 teams. And when you come out with the victory, you also have a side of relief knowing that you just played your best game and ended up going out with the W. And I'm pretty sure Iowa Western, it was a tough loss for them, of course. And for them, I feel sorry for the next team because they're gonna go out and try to play their best to win that game every game. Same with Hutchinson. I believe they won the game, but obviously they both have the attack mindset to win the game.
Oh yeah, and then Iowa Western, their first 2 games this season have each come down to 1 point for the defending national champion. So going to be fun to see how those 2 teams fare the rest of the way. And again, not a matchup I would be surprised seeing again down the line. Moving on to some other ranked matchups last weekend. How about Highland, number 13, knocking off number 8 Iowa Central in a super defensive game. Finished 14-13 and 0 points were scored in the second half on either side. Highland's defense was really good at the end of the year last year, showed some flashes, and now they're starting to put it together. Are they a team to look out for?
Oh yeah, Highland for sure. I remember back when I was in college, Highland used to always have them studs, but they just couldn't finish the games. But they always used to score some points. And well, I believe now they're just trying to find themselves again.
Yeah, it was a big win. Iowa Central going to be on one of our ESPN Plus games of the week down the line against Independence. But moving into the rankings, a little bit of a shakeup. Obviously, Hutch takes over at that number 1 spot as Iowa Western drops down to 2. Snow jumps up to 3, and it's Kilgore at 4. So when you look at the top 5, every single conference and an independent are represented. You have Iowa, Kansas, the Southwest, Mississippi, and the independent in Snow. So talent from all over the country right now and a really competitive top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love where the rankings are right now. Snow is actually jumping. They also had a quarterback vet that was coming back from the previous year, so I like the rankings right now for sure. Mississippi Gulf Coast is climbing the rankings. Trinity Valley, they coming up. They coming up for sure. Georgia Military, that's the one that shocks me. You know, it's glad to see them back in the rankings because they were a top college.
Oh, and they've played well at the start of the season too. Again, they were the 2-point conversion shy of beating Iowa Western in that opener. So Georgia Military, a team to look out for if they can pull it together the rest of the season. Who knows what happens in those final 4 teams in the rankings? So that's our cover 3. The only other thing, ESPN Plus coming up on this Saturday. It is Tyler hosting Trinity Valley, another ranked team out of Texas, in our ESPN Plus Game of the Week. So that one's going to be fun. Any preview for that one?
Oh, for that one, Tyler JUCO, obviously I'm not too far from there. And I believe it's gonna be a shootout. Both offenses throw the ball. Tyler JUCO, obviously, they've been sending some guys D1s for several years now, and they just been great on offense. So I believe it's gonna be a high scoring game too. I don't have any favorites in this game, but shout out to both teams, and I just can't wait to see it on ESPN.
Yep, high quality Texas matchup. Tyler trying to get back on track and Trinity Valley trying to keep things going. So it's going to be a fun watch. Be sure to tune into that and be sure to tune in back here next week when we recap that one and the rest of our fun ranked matchups. Thanks everybody for tuning in on the NJCAA Network, and we'll see you next time on JUCO Cover 3.